Welcome to Crosby's Crew.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Crosby's Crew. We've been on a bit of a hiatus. We'll tell you the story. Molly had a bit of an injury, so we are in recovery phase. And what better way to do it than with a couple glasses of wine, some great friends, and talking about the Derby and talking about what was happening there in the NCAA tournament and catching up a little bit. So as we do every show, I will start this off with a toast. Here's to the fastest 2 minutes in sports, the slowest sips of something we're savoring, and the kind of company that makes both better. May our picks be bold, our palates honest, and our glasses never empty. Cheers to the Derby and to Crosby's Crew. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Well, as Mason said, there was an injury. No wine was involved. I have started telling people that I saved a baby from a burning building, which usually gives them like quite the look. And I'm like, no, it was rec tennis league and I fell down. And it's always kind of a disappointing. I know. So I've got this apparatus that's attached to everything. So don't be distracted or think you need to get a new fashion accessory. This is just my best friend for the next several months. But now we're ready to go. So we're jumping right back in.
And as we always say, responsible drinking. So, we had to get off the, there was no more meds, no more than anything. And now we're back to our regular scheduled program.
It was very motivating. It was very motivating. I will be kind of scooching around, just trying to find it was a proximal hamstring tear. So that was apparently it's very special, kind of not the norm. Oh, thanks,
So
Holly.
special and rare.
So Holly and Keith, I'm going to start pouring for Mason.
Great
and
idea.
I would love it if you'd start running us through these wines. So all of these wines are from our NCAA Elite 8 spring wine bracket, where all you can do is pick winners. And so
That's
these
right.
wines should be good for spring, Derby celebrations. It was great for watching the tournament. Mother's Day. Tell us a little bit about how these wines made it into the bracket and what Mason's going to be looking for when he tastes them. And don't be looking as I pour.
And there
People
is
know
a
if you
few,
cheat.
Look away.
there's a few additions as well. So we have our Elite 8, a selection from the Elite 8, but then a couple that fit the theme. We'll say that. And we'll tell you what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to know?
As always,
ahead.
I just want to make the note as we are jumping back in after a little bit of a hiatus. Holly and Keith Emerson, world-renowned winemaker, wine enthusiasts, wine label creators, all things soccer mom and dad and lacrosse mom and dad. They do all things. So we are so grateful to share this journey with y'all and take it away as Molly starts pouring the wine.
And this is my chance to tell the audience what we're tasting today.
Yeah.
And then Mason, he doesn't necessarily have to be completely blind. He just gets to choose from the selection, correct?
Well, no. You're going to walk him through because he is going to do
You
these
tell us
blind.
what
It's
we're
just a little
tasting.
easier today.
This is a really easy day.
And then
an easy
I'm not
super
seeing
easy.
how she's pouring it, and then you're going to guide
We're
me
watching.
through.
We see you not cheating. All right. So we have a Vinho Verde from Portugal. Obviously, the theme is the Kentucky Derby, and we wanted to taste some wines that we thought went with the theme and went with the food that is associated with the Kentucky Derby. So the Vinho Verde is just super fresh, easy going. You're drinking in the middle of the day, and this is a 9% alcohol spritzy white wine, a selection of grapes, different white grapes from northern Portugal, and it's incredibly refreshing. It's kind of in between a sparkling wine and a still white wine, sort of kind of right in the middle. And this particular one is at all of your Trader Joe's around the country. Esperal. Hold up the bottle. So this is around, it's super inaffordable. It's very affordable and
under
it's very
$8.
inexpensive.
It's not even
exactly.
under $10. Like it's under $8.
Yeah.
So
And then
this
we
is
have-
a great pick for if you really want to get in the spirit and be kind of spritzy, but are short on time and maybe
Yeah.
spend your money on other things.
Yeah, and if you want something nice and low alcohol that goes with some of these foods that we have in front of us, Holly will tell you a little bit about the food, but I'll give you a few more wines that we have. We also have the Massican Sauvignon Blanc.
They have a different Massican, but yes, Massican is a producer, amazing white wine producer. We love Dan Petrovsky. So
Yeah. We have the Billecart Simone Rosé, which is a beautiful champagne. They're on the 7th generation now and making gorgeous champagnes. This was in, I believe it was 99. The 1959 Billecart Rosé was the number one champagne of the millennium.
Oh,
Whoa.
But this
number
is,
one in my heart.
This is a wine, Kentucky Derby. I think of fried chicken. I think of pimento cheese and veggies and dips and stuff like that, which we have both of those things in front of us. And that is like, the Billecart with the fried chicken is kind of a classic. So
Bubbles are so good at cutting through fat, that nice acidity. You either do it with a Cabernet where the tannins, or a red wine where tannins are clean your palate, or with champagne just in a refreshing way.
Absolutely. And then we have our dear friend Julien Fayard's Ritchie Vineyard Chardonnay from the Russian River. Julien is our neighbor, and we'll probably walk in the door at some point. I know he's walked in on a few of our podcasts.
Yes, he has.
That's why we had this bottle, because he delivered it too late to our Chardonnay episode.
Oh, I
But
remember.
we have this Ritchie vineyard. Yeah. So this Ritchie is, Kent Ritchie planted this vineyard. I believe it was 1972. Old vine Chardonnay, Wente clone vines, a few other old clones, but mostly Wente. So it has that sort of Sonoma coast mineral character to it. But then it also has a richness. It has a tension to it, good acidity because it's a cool climate, and old mature vines, but it has this sort of richness, this texture to it that I really appreciate in this wine. I like it. It's a little bigger than the other two white wines that we just talked about, a little more texture, a little more weight. And
so when you said Wente, is that the type of plant, or is that the person who, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's the last name of a family who basically discovered this clone, or maybe they got it. Wow. Maybe they took some cuttings from France and brought it over here, and then propagated them and started to grow. And eventually it became known as the Wente clone. I actually went to school with one of the Wentes, Carl Wente.
That's cool.
But yeah, the Wente clone Chardonnay is definitely the hottest Chardonnay clone in California, at least.
So
Now, is that something you can find on the bottle?
He tells everyone he went to school with you, Keith.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I love that.
Is that something you can find on the bottle, or is it like, if you know, you know?
Yeah, kind of. If you know, you know. Not a lot of people put Wente clone on the bottle. Maybe in the fine print in the back label, some folks will say this is old vine Wente clone, but you don't see it that much. I work with quite a bit of Wente clone actually, and so does Julien.
That was just a
So
geeky
buy
fun
Fayard
fact.
wine.
That was his nerd out there. All right.
Julien Fayard wines. Yep.
So just buy his wine, and you've got the Wente clone in this Chardonnay.
He makes
this
several
Chardonnay.
several
Ritchie
Chardonnays.
Yeah.
Yep. And then last but not least,
Oh, I'm so excited for this. And
we have the beautiful Bordeaux, so the Pontet-Canet, which is the 2021 vintage. So this is a classic Bordeaux.
yeah, thanks Benchmark for Matt Clancy for helping us find this one. This one was not in the Elite Eight.
Correct.
This is an add-on for, and same with the Massican. The Massican and the Bordeaux, those have derby ties and horse ties, and so that's how they made it in. I mean,
These
I
are
always
horses. These are race horses.
Yeah.
So,
I'd
yes,
love for Holly
exactly.
to explain a little bit about why they are associated with horses in our world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Well, do the
Don't-
Yeah,
Massican
I
story.
want. Oh yes, I do want to hear this again. And a fun note. A lot of times when we have like kind of our pre-production talk, you'll start with your dream list, and then it's what I can get here.
Yeah.
And what was great about kind of these fun horse story wines and the Massican that you have such an incredible connection to, I could get them at Total Wine. I could get them at Cork Dorks. I could get Massican at a few Kroger's. So these are wines that if you're hearing this today and you want to up the ante on your derby watching experience, or just something I've never experienced, be ahead of the game for Mother's Day, go grab them. They were not hard to find.
I don't know if I've ever tasted.
I love that.
I mean, I know what this is, but
I think I forget which one.
I know I don't know if I've ever tasted a wine like quite like this. And it's
Molly, you poured him
fantastic.
4?
Yes.
Yes.
So he has
including the
Vinho
Masacan is
Verde.
5.
The ones that the one that I'm doing, the Masacan we poured for the toast.
Yep.
So then I have the other 4.
Got it.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I'm here to coach
What
you.
do I eat it with?
Take your time and sniff through those, sip through those, and ask me any questions.
Again, I have an inclination of which each one, like what they are, but the nose on this and like it's unlike any Chardonnay I've ever tasted.
Well,
Sure.
you already called it a
Sure.
Chardonnay.
Well, I knew which one it was.
Oh, it's fine.
There is that smoothness and like almost like it does have like a softness to it, and like it's bigger than like a normal Chardonnay, but you can
Sometimes I call that sort of.
ours.
Sometimes I call that kind of yogurty or creamy in texture.
Exactly.
Which one of our Derby foods would that kind of pair with?
That's the whole point of the way that we drink wines and the way we select wines is basically all of these go with all of these foods, but there is some favorites. So what do you think?
This Chardonnay is versatile with all of these foods. I mean, fried chicken and Chardonnay, especially this sort of weighty Chardonnay, are these deviled eggs that I'm staring at.
I was going to say these deviled eggs.
Yeah. So I'd probably go deviled eggs, Chardonnay, and then fried chicken as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is I'm smelling. Like it's.
No. You tell us what you're smelling.
I can't figure out.
I almost smell orange cream.
That's what it is. It's something like it is like creamsicle. Is that what I'm?
There's even
It's
some
more
there's even
orange
some
and
sort
like
of, there's some quince as well. You kind of go towards quince, almost towards that sort of maybe even like ripe pear.
But I wouldn't call it like I wouldn't call it.
It doesn't taste
it's not
that
like
way.
buttery, like you say. Oh,
No.
buttery
No.
Chardonnay. It's definitely
you can
more.
have
I like
richness.
I like the rich yogurt. Like it's strong. It's bigger than like a buttery kind of creamy Chardonnay.
It can handle the fried
A
chicken.
lot of structure.
And that is the difference. You can have
I love that. I mean, that's so amazing.
Good news. I ordered several bottles.
you can have a rich, weighty Chardonnay without it being butter and cloying. Like this is just multi-dimensional and multi-layer.
I think you guys have heard me say before that Chardonnay is like it's like a chameleon. You can really, as a winemaker, you can really mold it in so many different directions, more so than anything. Chardonnay, you can mold it all the way to the top as far as power and richness and weight, or you can go all the way lean and crisp and lightweight and low alcohol. And so you can really do anything in between.
Right? So ours versus Julian's are very different, but you guys have that thread of similarity that they're not cloying and heavy. Like they both have a lot of finesse and brightness, but ours, because it's Oregon versus
Sonoma
Coast,
So unique. Yeah.
they are going to just be different because climate is so different.
Can we go ahead and step into the football world for a second? So let's say,
Still blind tasting.
Do we know anybody that is an expert in football or?
I know some sports enthusiasts and
I'm more of a softball coach now, so
we'll get into
deep
that
into
later.
the softball world.
So if Mason, maybe you can make this connection for me, because this is how I learn things, but I have no doubt Keith could do it too. So let's just say, even though you won't want to flatter yourself, that you and Julian are, top tier quarterbacks, right? So you're both throwing the ball down the field, but you have these two quarterbacks who are both elite passers, but who have different mechanics
from
a distinctly different style. I want to kind of go ahead like we did with the golf swing with our left bank and right bank.
Here's my guess.
I want you to lock that in for me.
From the fact that y'all Chardonnay is Oregon, and it's how it's different. Like it's almost different regions, right? So it's like a West Coast offense versus
Different
like a power run game type offense, right? Like is that
Sure.
Or is it two passing
but
games? Which one is it?
Talk about quarterbacks, or the kind of what say the at-large Chardonnay or would compare to this Fayard here.
Yeah, I think Julian's Fayard is more sort of the classic sort of tall quarterback with a great arm.
Is he Tom Brady? Is this
throwing
Tom Brady?
those long balls and, just very steady and,
like it.
a big presence, but not necessarily quick and agile.
It is a classic.
It's a
one.
classic.
It's
I like
more
that.
classic.
I like that.
Ours
And I
is
think-
more of an outlier style.
I think the at-large
Mahomes?
is it's a zippy one. So ours is
zippy.
going to be kind of dodging and weaving.
Okay.
You think of some of those mobile quarterbacks that are sort of dodging and weaving and have the freshness to them, the quickness
We
to
got
them.
like a Lamar
And,
Jackson.
You got it. Yeah. So we'd be more Lamar
you.
and I think Julian's would be more I don't know.
Josh Allen?
Like a traditional, like,
Josh Allen or like I was thinking of the Chargers quarterback, Josh
yeah.
Herbert.
Herbert?
Like a
Josh
tall,
Herbert. Justin
a tall
Herbert,
quarterback. Justin Herbert.
Stands
yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
stands in the
Tall
pocket.
quarterback with a great arm that doesn't necessarily
Ooh,
move
I
around
love
too
it.
much.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, well done. So you've already
I'll give you
eliminated
that.
one.
Okay.
On the fly right there.
I'll give you that.
So
Yeah, that's good.
slight, like a little bit of carbonation, I guess. Some like tiny little bubbles. I get kind of like earthy, tinny. Like there's a little bit of. Yeah. Every time I smell this, and I know what it is because we drank this over Easter,
We did.
so I know it well. Yeah. So this is the Vinho Verde, but
All right, he's 2 for 2.
tell me
Perfect.
what.
Nice.
Like-
Good job. You don't even need a coach.
I know.
All right,
a
today
player
was an
coach.
easy one.
She kind of set me up for success. This is a bit of a
Oh,
layup.
that's what a good wife does. I would, with this one, the whole point of Vinho Verde, like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And,
Don't overthink it.
I've had
It's light
expensive
and
Vinho
nice, yeah.
Verdes, and I always prefer
cheaper
this
ones.
one, the cheaper ones, because this isn't an over complicated wine. This is a really
Okay.
fun, simple, easy. It's an easy wine. So
Same
don't
with-
overthink
That's
it.
the thing about Vinho Verdes and Assyrtiko from
Yeah,
Greece.
don't
They're,
like
the
honestly,
cheaper ones are usually
the
better.
like when you try and complicate things, they're not as good. So
Isn't that the
I
truth?
don't need a Vinho Verde on French oak. I
yeah?
just
So
don't
we're
need
not
it.
going to give you like the history of this producer of Vinho Verde. It's
Crushable.
It's delicious. I mean, don't overthink it.
You're like,
Just
I don't know
enjoy.
if I want still. I don't know if I want sparkling.
Yeah,
Vinho Verde
just-
it is.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's 11
It's
a.m.
Tuesday.
This
Yeah.
is a great Mother's Day starter while you're deciding what beautiful vintage champagne to drink.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Ooh. Yeah. I wonder what
pressure.
I'm having now.
Oh yeah, okay.
I did notice
So-
they had an
The color.
extremely expensive version of this. That is our daughter's name.
Coupe Elizabeth, which is a
Elizabeth
spectacular
Rose.
bottle.
Elizabeth.
Our
Rose.
daughter is Elizabeth Rose also. So I told Mason we need to
better.
start saving up to buy cases of it for a wedding.
It's spectacular.
Cases.
And again,
Oh, I love that. You're
another
a good
another
parent.
cheat because I literally finished off a
had some of
bottle
this
of this
last
last night. So
Oh, look at you.
And
we're
it's
diving
pink.
deep.
It's
Well,
the color
and
of salmon.
but
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this, Keith. What am I?
Why do we love it so?
What am I looking for? What am I like?
Well,
If I
one thing
didn't know
that's-
what it was, like, give me a little indicator of like, oh, okay, I know that it's champagne and not a sparkling wine from California. Like,
Yeah, that's not always an easy tell. That's not always
Yeah.
something you can tell just by smelling or tasting. There's a lot of great sparkling wines from all over the world.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. But one thing that makes Bilcart Simone unique and not necessarily unique, but one thing that makes them stand out is the percentage of Pinot Meunier that they use in their blend. So
Really?
you guys remember that the 3 grapes in Champagne are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. And Pinot Meunier is not used by everybody. And it's probably it's the least popular of the 3. There's plenty of champagnes that are Chardonnay only. There's plenty of champagnes that are Pinot Noir only. There's plenty that are both. And then there's Pinot Meunier as that third blender. And so Bilcart, they're sort of notorious for having a decent amount of that. They have a decent amount of that Pinot Meunier. And that brings more fruits, like it's more blues and reds and like more fruit forward. And I get a lot of fruit in this champagne. I get quite a bit of the strawberries, raspberries, and even
Red
some
fruits.
going towards like
I was going to say
blueberry as well.
raspberry.
Yeah. But then it retains its freshness, and it also there's some layers. That's what's so cool about this wine is it's so complex. It has layers. Like I even get a little of that brioche, you know, there's definitely texture and weight and mid palate. Like we were talking about with the Chardonnay, with Julian's Chardonnay. You have some of that here. So it's got everything, you know, it has fruits, it has citrus, it has acid, and then it has a tiny bit of that brioche, which I love. One thing that I was reading up on some of the history of Bilkart, and in the early 70s, the winemaker, general manager at the time, the president at the time, he was a family member. It keeps getting passed on, remember? But he was one of the first to come up with these long, slow, cold fermentations to preserve precious aromatics and to preserve the fruit. Now a lot of us do that with all of our whites, but back then they didn't. They treated it more like just, you know, let it go like a red and get it warmer. So this winemaker in 72, his name I can't remember, but whether he was a Bilkart or a Simone, I can't remember. Those are the two families that started this thing. But he started these long, cold, slow fermentations to preserve precious aromatics. I think that's pretty cool.
I
love it.
One of the most memorable dinners I've ever had. I was invited by Peter Cassell, one of my dearest friends in New York. He was running T. Edward at the time, and they were the importer for Bilkart, which is a huge coup. And they had an anniversary dinner at the Modern in New York with, I believe it was Mr. Bilkart. And we drank old wines, like some of the originals, which we've talked about on this podcast a little bit. When champagnes are very old, they will lose those bubbles, and you have to almost taste them as a still wine, which was absolutely spectacular. So it was a fun memory. I sent it to Molly when we were first talking about this. I was like, I think I remember, and I found some old picture of Peter and I at this incredible dinner. So.
Well, now you have two very special connections to the Masakan personally. And then
hold on, but we only have one more wine. Should we let Mason win this?
Oh, go ahead. Win it.
Can you guess the red wine, Mason?
Close your eyes. Does it taste like grapes?
It tastes like a horse.
Yeah.
A horse winning the derby.
A horse winning the derby.
Does it taste like horses were used to farm the vineyard?
No way.
Ooh,
that is why we chose this wine.
Gosh.
Yeah. My good friend Laura Coffer.
I want to go ride I really want to go race a horse. Like, I feel like that's just like, it's perfect for horse racing.
The smell is fun.
My good friend Laura, I asked her, I was like, I'm looking for some horse themed wines. And she recommended this one and the Cos d'Estrenal, because they use horses in the vineyards instead of tractors, which is like such a great, anyway,
that takes biodynamic to a new level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. But it's also gentle on the soil. You know, it's less, the tractor's going to go down the same path every time they do a pass, and there's several tractor passes.
Steps in the same place twice. So you're aerating with less weight.
Yep.
So a tractor is very heavy and stays on the same track, where a horse.
Compaction. Yep.
Yes.
Horse is not going to have the same compaction as a tractor, so it aerates the soil. It keeps them light and fluffy, and allows the obviously the roots to penetrate, but it allows the roots to breathe too. It allows everything to breathe and keep it nice and aerated and more gentle on the soil. Yeah.
So they started with 5 horses 20 or so years ago. I mean, this is a technique obviously that existed before tractors existed, and then there was
they're bringing it back.
Obviously, a big time in between when more modern equipment was used. But about over 20 years ago, they started with 4 or 5 horses. And the problem there is not necessarily, it's space, because if you're going to keep horses, and these are not small race horses, these aren't lean
workhorses.
These are big
workhorses.
These are more in line with what we would call a Clydesdale.
For sure.
And so big, more workhorses, yes. And so those take up a lot of space. And so they have recently, in the last few years, invested in building stables. So they have now 20 horses.
Wow.
So 20 large horses, like that is such a commitment to
it's a lifestyle for the vineyard.
But isn't that amazing? And they also have goats.
I can smell the hooves.
I do feel like when you're
that's why
talking about the aeration, it makes me think of golf and aerating
Oh,
grains.
there, yeah, exactly. Your spikes
sure.
on your.
Just keep opening
Absolutely.
it up. Oh, that's
But
spectacular.
to me,
What a great
any
choice.
excuse to drink Bordeaux. So thank you, Laura, for the excuse, and thank you,
Exactly.
Matt, for helping me find this. And
And that brings us to
fun.
I say it differently and kind of fast every time because I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Masakan. Masakan?
Masakan. Which Masakan do you have? So we have the Sauvignon Blanc, but they have several white wines.
We have the
Or
Sauvignon Blanc.
they, meaning Dan.
We also have the Sauvignon Blanc, but
Okay.
I purchased several of the other kinds too.
Okay, as you should.
I'm so intrigued.
I have an older Sauvignon. We have an older Sauvignon Blanc from our cellar. The reason we chose Masakan, Masakan started by Dan Petrowski in 2009. 2009 was an amazing year because it was the birth of Masakan and also the birth of my daughter. And so Dan is actually Audrey's godfather. So we're very lucky. So Dan Petrowski is a kid from Brooklyn who had an incredible career. He went to Columbia University. I think he played football there, actually. But he went to Columbia, had an amazing career in New York in the magazine business and publishing. And then one day literally left it all, sold it all, and moved to Italy to learn how to make wine.
Love it.
And
Sign us
for
up.
us, I'm from here. That's not a big deal. Like if you're from Brooklyn, to move to Italy to learn to make wine is pretty amazing. And then thankfully for all of us, he took that knowledge and moved to Calistoga because he was Calistoga Dan when I first met him, but
Nice.
moved to the Napa Valley and we got to meet him and become dear friends with him. And he started Masakan. So he was working at Larkmead Vineyards, made a lot of incredible, many 100-point wines there. But he started Masakan in 2009 as his project. And one of my biggest flex, one of my, what to save in a fire. I actually have the second bottle off the line. So 2 of 2,856 of the 2009 Ania, which is named for his mom.
Wow.
So anyway, he
That's
makes
amazing.
really spectacular white wine blends. So he uses, this one in particular is Tokai, it's Ribolla. So he's planted and he uses these great vineyards. So we have Sauvignon Blanc, which is, everybody knows that Sauvignon Blanc grape, but check out all of his other white wine blends and he's amazing. But the Derby connection there, because obviously Brooklyn has nothing to do with the Derby, neither does Napa. But because he was born and my daughter was born the same year, he's my daughter's godfather. For her first birthday, he gave her a beautiful, perfect Derby cup with her initials engraved on it. And
He's quite
That's
the mixologist as well.
he is crazy.
I love
and
it.
a ridiculous 6-page letter basically on how to make the perfect mint julep. So
And just to recap, this is for her first birthday.
this is for her first birthday.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I think that the letter ends something along the lines of like, when you have learned to make this perfect drink, you have fulfilled every wish and destiny I hope for you.
This is
that's-
This is the cool Godfather.
This is the coolest. I mean,
It's instead of calling her Audrey like her name, he calls her Lonnie Anderson.
So no. Because, well, that's a long story. We have a million Dan Petrowski stories, but everybody has Dan Petrowski stories, and I am very fortunate to call him again. I have number 2 off the bottling line. His now wife, Jess Manila, who's amazing in her own right, has number 1. Our friend Dana Vivier, her and her husband are incredible in the wine industry. We got the first 3 off the line. So this is
Now, what was his name though?
Dan was famous, really. So now Dan is definitely
That's
a
awesome.
darling in the wine industry in multiple countries.
Absolutely.
And so we're very fortunate to call him a friend. And his wines do not disappoint ever, ever, ever. And they're easy to find and they're affordable and they are spectacular. So
That's awesome.
What do you call him? Something with a C, something, Dan? How you met him?
Calistoga.
Well, Calistoga
Calistoga.
Dan, that's what we called him because when he first moved here, he lived in Calistoga. And so he was just Calistoga Dan. I don't know why. He doesn't live in Calistoga. He lived in like an old a house that looked like the Moose Lodge, and it was just Calistoga Dan. So,
Well, that's a perfect intro.
So interesting.
I want you guys to break down to us as we keep going Derby and we kind of keep on the Calistoga Dan train. What's in a mint julep? What makes a wine spritz? And let's go ahead and see whose team bourbon and whose team wine spritz is. As you guys are going to break down what's in each drink. You're going to tell us a little bit of backstory because I don't really know much about either of these things. I don't drink wine spritzes. We borrowed these from our neighbors. We have our cups, and we even have our striped paper straws. The internet's really fun as far as going down on a theme.
There's so many things.
If you guys would break it down for us, the difference between the two, you know, why we shouldn't be worried about making them, and then oh my gosh, that is beautiful. This is what it's like to go to their house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I bet you they
I'm
got
on my
all
way.
of that.
I'm jumping on a plane right
all
now.
of that from their backyard too, if I had to bet.
This is from our neighbor's backyard.
Oh, that's even better. So let's huddle up, break down these two plays for us, whether you go classic mint julep, spritz, and then entertain us while we're not going to tell each other. We're going to make our own libations, break it down in our 2-minute warm-up, 2-minute warning, and go to our first ad break.
Okay, so let's go. So make your thing.
Do we tell them about it or we just make it?
Yep.
Well, tell me, because I don't know anything about any of it.
Got it. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Are we in
So
that?
you want about eight leaves, 8 mint leaves. And you want to put those in the bottom. I have my mint julep cup here.
For a spritz or if you were either way, or is this a mint julep to start?
Holly will walk you through a spritz. I'm going to do the julep.
We're going to do a classic. The only difference in these, we're going to make a julep. And so whether it is a traditional, we're going to choose the alcohol.
Yep, exactly. So the mint julep it's easy because it's 3 ingredients, right? It's mint, simple syrup, and typically bourbon. You have a choice of alcohol. Actually, it wasn't originally bourbon, but it is nowadays, especially when it's associated with the Kentucky Derby. So that's all you need, really. You need crushed ice. You need mint. Oh, you have the Woodford Reserve. Perfect.
This year's edition for the Derby artwork.
I love it. Look at that. That's beautiful.
She's pretty.
I couldn't say no.
You need mint, crushed ice, simple syrup. So I could easily make you a classic mint julep, but I'm gonna mix it up because I named my drink. I made a new drink,
you did.
and then named it like we would name a racehorse, and kind of excited about it. So I'm replacing.
No, wait.
I'm replacing. Actually, I'll save that. That'll be a surprise for the end. But let's start making our julep. Okay, so I'm gonna grab 8 mint leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I already did
5, 6.
I'm starting with my own drink.
And I'm gonna put them into my cup, into my mint julep cup. Here we go. And I'm gonna muddle them a little bit. Remember, muddling is not necessarily like scrunching them up. You're just trying to get the oils out.
Just trying to open.
So you're just kind of pushing it.
Sometimes when you're at a bar and you see a bartender like put a piece of basil, a piece of mint, and they slap it, you're really just trying to release the flavor without actually breaking it up too much.
And I actually did already kind of slap them a little. Yep.
We already slapped the mint.
So you're not trying to get the bad stuff. You're trying to just get the good oils out of there. So I'm being pretty gentle with my muddling. And now Holly's going to put in a little bit of the simple syrup.
We have a secret ingredient at ours, but we'll tell you about that later.
I was counting on you to have a twist.
A little more. There.
Okay.
Perfect.
How much?
Okay, so that's the classic right there.
To taste. So.
Yeah. Some people say a half an ounce. That's typical. Some people say an ounce. I'm not, as a former bartender,
does everything by
I do everything by counts, and I do everything sort of by
I like that.
feel. Yeah.
I don't measure anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It bugs
I
Molly.
do because I make the worst drinks in America.
So then we have our crushed ice. So I muddled everything. And
so we are very lucky. My husband's from New England. So as a birthday present one year, we got a machine that crushes ice. But the way that I used to do it,
that's for oysters. For oysters to sit on top of.
We used to have a Kentucky Derby pillowcase. So really, you can take ice, put it in a pillowcase, and bang on it with a hammer or a mallet. And that is a great way to make the perfect Derby crushed ice. So just have a designated pillowcase because you will make some holes in it.
Yep. Okay, so now here's the mix up. Our simple syrup happens to have essence of rose in there.
La la.
And remember,
Love a secret ingredient.
exactly.
Oh, race for the roses.
Exactly.
Molly.
So run for the roses is
Run for the
is
roses. Dang it.
the theme
So
of the
close.
Kentucky Derby.
Okay,
And
so next
we put some
on our muddled, we put our ice.
yeah on top of the muddled. Exactly. So now you have the leaves, the mint leaves. You have the simple syrup, and now you're putting some ice in there. I usually go like 3/4.
I like a lot of ice.
Yep. So it's nice when you have this crushed, shaved ice in front of you.
I
You
know.
have it
fancy.
at your leisure. Okay, so now I'm breaking away.
Okay.
Now here's where it gets crazy. So now I would put bourbon in, and then I would basically put a little more ice in so that there's a little cap, like almost like a snow cone. There's a little cap of
Whoa.
ice on there, and that's your classic mint julep. You know, it's just the bourbon, the mint, and the simple syrup. Okay, so remember.
Now-
Go ahead.
Does that type of ice like melt a little faster? So is that why
For
it's
sure.
like so much
And you need a lot. Yes.
ingredient because your
Yeah.
ice is gonna. So you're not sticking a cube in these, one of those big old.
No.
bricks.
But we are experts in this, and so I'm kidding. But we not only did I do the
believe you.
shaved, not
I'm
only
learning
did
how
I do
it
the
works.
shaved ice, but I did about an eighth of this thing you see in front of us has just little crushed ice crumbles, like not quite shaved, a little bigger. So there's a little bit of both.
For your
that just
topping?
keeps it colder for longer. Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Okay, so what
Okay,
is
Okay,
your...
so normally I would maybe, Mason, you know this one, maybe I'd put the Weller in there, you know, something from Kentucky, a bourbon from Kentucky. Maybe I'd put something else in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, can I name my drink now?
Yes.
can
Wait,
Makes
no,
more
no,
sense.
no. Nope. Don't name it yet. We're all going to make ours and we're going to say our
Open that
names at
press.
once.
T-ball. I was so ready. That was a softball.
No.
So I'm going to use rum. I'm going to use Mount Gay rum.
Sacrilegious, but
It's
okay.
sacrilegious.
Mount
It is.
Gay rum? Are you serious? Do you remember?
Mount Gay
Did
rum
we
from
tell you this story?
Barbados. I've actually been there. I've been to Mount Gay. It's unbelievable.
I
but
drank
it's,
that. That was my go-to in college.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to use
Yeah,
rum.
Keith is 50. Still let's go to.
Hey, the Mount
I'm
Gay
gonna do my
rum.
little 4
Actually,
count.
it was Bacardi, and then it was like Mount
was
Gay
a-
was the
that was-
fancy.
Keith's 4 count was like a 12 count.
It was a 6,
That was
but I
the
said 4.
fancy
Leave me alone.
rum in college. Was the Mount Gay?
Yeah, so Mount Gay. I once got kicked out of the 3rd grade for having a Mount Gay T-shirt on because my dad sold booze when I was a kid.
We can edit
That's
that
hilarious.
part.
And then
know
because
it's
it's a
good.
rum twist, because we have a little change on the typical mint julep, I'm gonna put a little bit of lime in there because it goes well with the rum. So I'm just squeezing one little lime, and
Whoa.
then so I'm gonna stir just a little bit, just to mix it.
Oh, got it.
And then I'm gonna fill it up with ice, and make that mint julep cone.
Oh, I was wondering why you
Whoa.
weren't doing a lot of ice. Okay.
So now you make a cone.
I'm gonna make you a perfect.
This is
sprig.
like a
then I need a sprig.
science
Yeah, I'm
project.
gonna make you a
Oh yeah, you got to
sprig.
fill it.
My beautiful wife is gonna
we
give me
got-
a sprig for the top.
Ooh, daddy.
And there is your mint julep. I will name it later on.
Wow.
It's kind of a fun one.
But a run one.
That's right.
I, on the other hand, have already muddled my my mint with simple syrup, and I've put a large amount of ice. And I am going to do a classic Massacon. So again, not bourbon. No disrespect to bourbon, but I love a white wine solid spritzer. At our wedding, we actually had a spritzer bar. So it was a rosé that my husband made for our wedding. That's the advantage of marrying a winemaker.
Very cool.
And then we also had Aperol and Campari and tons of like really beautiful. We got married in the summer, so we had gorgeous peaches and we had edible flowers and herbs and tarragon. And so they were really, people were walking around with beautiful white wine, rosé, or Aperol, Campari spritzes with beautiful, beautiful garnishes at our wedding. Okay,
Absolutely.
put this away. But I am definitely doing Massacon because I love any excuse. And Dan actually approved this because I had to make sure that I wasn't disrespecting. I'm also going to just
We
do
need
a
some of that.
tiny bit of this. And because I'm fancy, I'm going to garnish with a nasturtium flower. And I am also throwing in
fancy.
some tarragon from our garden because I love a little.
Look
so
how
mine is going to
fresh all
be.
that is. All those herbs.
Mine
are
is going to
looking
be
amazing.
an icy, herby, minty extravaganza.
I love how these glasses, these cups, like get all frosty and
Yeah,
the
it's so cold.
experience.
It's like you need a glove. You need a drinking glove.
So I made my drink
Oh,
already.
the drinking glove is awesome.
I think we should invent this
I'm
for
sure.
Crosby's
I
Crew.
don't invent.
Yeah.
Yes,
Almost
we
like
should
a-
at least get one with a logo
It could be like
on
a
it.
golf glove with our logo.
This is our drinking
so
glove.
this is perfect.
Because we're wine athletes.
We're wine athletes.
Actually,
This is going to take
guys,
us
I'm
right.
sorry. I love
already
you. I love you
exists?
both so much, but it's been done. When I was a kid and my dad was selling booze, I had a Rolling Rock drinking glove, and it was fingerless. It was green, and it had
Of
like
course it
padding on
was.
the inside, and it had no fingertips.
Okay.
I know
these
it's
are
been
things
done, but we
only
just need
overheard
one
in
with
my
our-
household. When I was a kid, I had a Rolling Rock drinking glove.
It's true.
Oh,
This
Lord,
is like
can you
the
cut
time
that
I
out?
thought I invented sports
I
team
don't wanna-
Monopoly, and they're like, it already exists.
We're just gonna sell them when we start selling out. Getting merch.
We do need.
We just need the
good.
Crosby's Crew
Crosby's
drinking
Crew
glove.
drinking glove.
So everybody, Keith and Holly, we do know your drinks. Let's go ahead and hear your names,
Wait,
and then
this
we'll
is so
introduce
good.
ours.
Wait, is this for
Okay.
our picks?
No, this
is
doesn't
so
have to
good.
be. It doesn't have to be your
Oh.
derby pick. It
Oh.
can be though.
No. What?
Okay. So remember that
I love this.
the simple syrup is infused with a little bit of rose essence,
Okay.
and I used rum instead of bourbon in my julep.
Okay.
So
Rose,
my
rum.
yours is gone. So my drink is called rum for the roses.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
that's
my
incredible.
gosh.
Mine is not that. Okay, I'll go to mine next. So I already knew from the get go.
What's your? What is the drink you made?
Holly? Did you
No,
have a
she's
name
about
for
to start.
yours? I'm getting too far ahead of myself. What's your name?
I didn't know it. No, you can tell yours, but did you make a drink?
I did. I made it while we were going.
So tell me about
You have
yours.
to name yours
Okay.
first.
Yeah, I do want to
Oh.
hear your name.
Oh, sorry.
In case I don't want to share mine
Mine is
because it's not good enough.
Danza Sole Bianco. So when I was a
Whoa.
child, my horse's name, I had a horse. I rode Western, which is what the shirt is a nod to. My horse was named Sundance. So,
Nice. I had a dog named Sundance.
oh, I love that. So, Danza Sole is basically Sundance in Italian. So,
Love
and
it.
then Bianco, obviously. So the Bianco and the bean in Italian is a nod to Masacan, which I used. And then obviously the horse part of it was my childhood horse. So
Love it.
this is my Danza Sole Bianco.
And I got to see the picture of her on the horse with her dad as a child,
I love it.
and also riding in a tractor. Mine is. Oh, there it is.
Awesome. Oh,
So mine is
That's beautiful.
not poetic at all.
No,
So I went ahead and basically just did your basic spritz. I muddled my 8 leaves, little simple syrup, which, by the way, we extolled that drinking better wine will leave you without headaches. The more simple syrup you add, the more likely you might not feel great. So I have my mint.
no, you did a mint julep. Not a
No, I did not.
Oh, you did.
So I had
something
mint. Then I did Masacan. I did mint, simple syrup, Masacan. And I did a little sparkling water. I added a lemon twist, but I also topped it with ice. So I'm calling it the Intrepid Ice because that's one of a dark horse in the race. Really not
That sounds
poetic.
like a
And
big
it
dark
paired,
No, it's perfect.
it paired amazing
Intrepid
with
Ice.
kind of like a Miami Vice Intrepid Ice. I threw the ice. I threw the ice in the
like
wine
it.
spritzer, which I think is normal, but it's all new to me.
All right. So whenever
you
I
nailed it.
pick things or do like, I'm not like I'm going to pick the cutest name or the fun, like what's fun. And like if I'm looking, I'm going to be like, all right, what's going to win? But whenever I'm having a cocktail, I'm mixing up a nice little mint julep, which I loved how you ran that through. I named mine Right to Party.
Nice.
Which is-
I like that.
Also, your
Hey.
pick? Is it also your pick for the race?
Well, no, that'd be my name pick for
Oh,
this
okay.
race. Yeah.
But
I
there
have a
was
di-
right
There's
to
a
party.
horse.
There's a
Was
horse.
Derby horse this year.
Oh,
that
there's
was
a horse, Right to Party.
Yeah.
Oh, he was scratched.
but he was
Well, that makes
scratched.
total sense
Because he was drunk.
because he
was drunk.
partied too hard, and
Yeah.
I mean
He's got
that's
to fight.
even more fitting.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't fight.
He was
for
in a
his right.
fight. All right, we're going to cut to our ad break now for Kohler and come back with one more segment for you before we wrap it up. For us, Kohler isn't just a brand, it's a part of our story. My dad was an exclusive Kohler dealer, so I grew up knowing their commitment to quality and design.
And for me, I helped open Lodge Kohler in Green Bay, and we've celebrated some of our best memories there, like my 40th birthday at Black Wolf Run.
Kohler, Wisconsin and Kohler properties have always been our favorite places to relax, connect, and of course, enjoy great wine together.
So it feels full circle that Kohler Company, boldly innovating for over 150 years, is now part of Crosby's crew, bringing extraordinary moments to everyday life. Cheers to that.
All right, and we're back. So now we have great drinks. They're way classier than us. Their drink names were amazing, poetic. But I'm counting on you to shine in this next segment.
Oh gosh!
Mason.
All right.
But wait,
I don't know. I like that right to party.
I have to say,
I like the right
She's got
to
to
party.
pump us up. This is why they're our friends. I'm ready.
if the
Go ahead.
assignment was choose a drink name that's similar to a horse, and Mason actually chose a Derby horse without knowing, like he totally
Oh,
understood
he
the
knew.
assignment.
No, I knew.
No, he knew. I had a
okay.
sheet.
I had already looked, and I said,
Okay,
if
I
I
was
were
like,
to pick,
wow, what are the
no, I
chances?
said if I were to pick a horse
I have
by
pictures and stats of everybody.
I love
by
that.
its name, it would be Right to Party. If I were to
Okay.
pick a horse to win, it would be a different horse.
So this is an excellent segue. Perfect segue. So let's go back to our NCAA brackets for a second. I really do regret that we didn't ever put up on socials or anything that hilarious clip you had of, the lady who picks everything through these really crazy reasons
Yeah,
and
that
is
is funny.
winning, and the researcher. And so I'm wondering, let's just throw it out there, like are people picking Derby horses kind of like how they pick their NCAA brackets? And that got me thinking about picks. Okay, so we're making picks, which takes me to the NFL draft, which I think we would be, kind of remiss to not work in here. So this is where, Holly, I'm not going to say I won't be surprised if you jump in here with a brilliant take on all of this, but I'm wondering if on paper, who you guys think kind of won the draft? Who won the draft?
That is a big, bold question.
Well, I
and
have a bit of a drink here.
That's
I can
really
listen.
hard to say who won the draft. So
Whose
because-
team
I know
is the
one
best
because
after
you could
the
say
draft?
the Las Vegas Raiders won with the best quarterback, but they were also
Yeah.
picking number one overall. So I'm not sure you
But
could
that's
say.
not
Cleveland
taking
did
into
well, right?
account all the
Oh,
other
I get the
picks.
question.
I think Cleveland.
I don't know
honestly,
anybody.
I think Dallas's pick of Downs and like some of their maneuvering with the first round picks they had, very
Yep.
solid. I think the Giants
The Giants did well.
trading off Dexter Lawrence and then having multiple first round picks in the first top 10 was really, really good. So honestly, more trades than I think we've ever seen in like the first 15 picks of the draft. Like stuff was moving like crazy. So
Well, let me ask you this, Mason. What about kind of the unsung major hitters in all of this, the scouts, right? Like, I would love to know, Keith and Mason, who are the scouts, so to speak, in like the wine industry? Because these people are basically setting up. It's their information, right? That these GMs are making just break it down for me, because
this is a deep thought.
Well, I was following a little, okay, but
Didn't
you've
give me
got.
time to prep for this.
I didn't. You don't need to prep. We all know that's not your MO. But
I wouldn't have prepped anyways.
You wouldn't have prepped
but-
anyways. But so when we look at the draft, it's all these multiple.
This is getting a little deep.
Multiple variables that lead to a pick, right? So you've got a scout, you've got senior days, you've got
Okay.
draft days.
Yeah. So what are you trying to?
So
say?
my question is, how are you? Who are the scouts in the vineyard, and how are they setting up to make the good picks? And then Mason, if you had to pick, I would like to know who you kind of are thinking from each division look like the contenders. Let's hear what you got
That's
to say.
a lot, and I don't know if we have time to do all that.
Well, break it down as quick as you can. So,
all right,
who gives
ahead,
you
Keith.
information in the vineyard?
Yeah, in the
to
vineyard
make
we
your
have
picks?
weekly.
Eduardo.
We have weekly vineyard meetings. Yeah, Eduardo's our vineyard manager, and Nick as well. So I meet, and Lily is our viticulturist, and so Nick, Eduardo, Lily, and I, and Ben, my assistant winemaker.
We met
all
him.
meet. Yeah, we all meet. Yeah, he made an appearance on the podcast. We meet weekly every Wednesday at 9:30, and we walk a different ranch at one of our different vineyards. But we talk about all of them. We just choose a different location every week, and we talk about irrigations for the week. We talk about any sort of vine work we're doing, whether it's leaf pulling or fruit removal or tucking or cultivation, disking, mowing, any of that kind of stuff, weed whacking, all that stuff. And then as you get closer to harvest, everyone gets busier, and you just kind of get away. Like once you're into full harvest mode, you stop meeting, and then you're just talking every day and you're communicating every day.
Eduardo, give Block 6 a drink.
Yeah. And then as you're getting into harvest, then you're setting up the pick. So then Miguel gets involved. And so Miguel is a partner in the business. And so Miguel Luna is who I will schedule picks with. I'll say, Miguel, I want to pick, the Vineyard 29 Estate Vineyard blocks 1 and 2 tomorrow, which means tonight. And then they'll night pick it all. And we organize the logistics. I'll say use Vineyard 29 macro bins, start at this time or whatever. And so we work out the logistics. So it's a whole team of people that do all that. And then I'll communicate to the production team, to the seller team, through work orders, basically what we're going to be doing the next morning, so that when they get into work, they've got the full plan and they're ready to rock and roll. And then just a ton of communication. Yeah.
So just
Sounds
like
just like an
everything-
NFL franchise.
Yeah, exactly. It just sounds like a press conference where it's not about like, you did great tonight. Well, it's all about a team. It's all about the team.
That's what it's about.
Well, and I'll respect
And it is
you.
true.
We'll table. I really want to get your hot take, but we'll table it. We'll cut to our next and final ad break for Perlick and come back with our top picks of the day.
One of the best things about this podcast is how it connects our love of wine with the people and companies who share that passion.
Like Perlick Refrigeration. We first crossed paths through Mason's work with Sartori Cheese and Make-A-Wish, where Mason met Jeff Schwager, who's now on Perlick's board and an investor in one of our favorite Napa wineries, Ovid.
Perlick has been setting the standard for wine storage for over a century, and their wine refrigeration is second to none, because great wine deserves perfect care.
We're proud to have Perlick as part of Crosby's crew, keeping our wine at the perfect temp, from the first pour to the last drop. All right, guys, it's time to get out your whiteboard and pick your favorite wine.
I'm still rumming for the roses
I
over
know.
here.
Well, can I just say a quick pro tip? So
Please.
I have been doing this a little too much. So I have this
know if we-
beautiful curated glass right now. And so I finished what was in it, but there's still some nice muddled in there. There's still ice in
So you
there.
should
There's still
fill
my
it back up.
flour. Just kind of keep filling it up.
Do you switch your strategy? Do
You can do
go-
whatever you want.
Gosh,
But
love
yes,
it when
I
you
did
say
pour
that,
a little
which
bit
is
of my
good.
champagne in there and it was beautiful.
So you're going to have a wine and you're going to have a horse.
So
Are we picking, we're picking
I
a
mean,
Kentucky
You
Derby
could
horse.
pick the drink that you made. I'm
For the
sorry.
winner.
That's completely fair.
No, we got this.
no way.
I'm ready. You got it.
Can I borrow your pen?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
lost mine. Thanks. This is really hard because I love this whole lineup.
I had a clear winner, even though I had like 3 clear winners, but I love a new experience.
Oh, this is so hard. These are my favorite people and also my favorite wine, which is Bordeaux. Dang it.
Yeah, you're kind of.
This
I
is
actually
so
didn't
hard.
know that.
Can I have can I do a trifecta?
There you go, do a
I'm
trifecta.
doing a trifecta.
There's no rules here on Crosby's crew.
No, there's
like
not.
No rules.
No.
Except for
Okay.
to not overthink it.
You set some rules. I'm going to break them. So that's
Perfect.
Here we go.
I'm fine with rules. They're just I'm gonna skirt around them. All right, let's see what our favorites are.
Oh, hold on.
I don't know if mine's visual.
Oh my gosh, I almost picked Further Ado. Wait, did you pick everything today, Keith? It It was
I
a
did
tasty
Rumble
episode.
Roses,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then I did the Billicart,
Rum
Salon,
for the, yeah.
Le Rosé.
So 2 drinks, got it.
What's a 4 called?
Further ado for the win.
win.
Oh, you got them placing, and I love it.
Wow, that's okay. So should we make a little promise to each other to
Who'd
post
you pick?
what we're drinking while watching the Derby tomorrow?
Would you pick full effort?
Yeah. So I picked
Full effort makes
I
sense for
picked
you.
the Fayard Chardonnay because it blew my mind. Plus fried
really good.
chicken,
love
and
it.
then
Nice
kind
work,
of my
Julie.
life motto is full effort. So I liked that horse.
I chose So Happy because Mike Smith is the jockey. He is 60 years old.
We've hosted him at Vineyard 29. He's a Hall of
That's
Famer.
awesome.
Yes.
Had breakfast
That's so
with
We've had
him
breakfast with him at
the
Del Mar
track.
Fairgrounds. Yeah.
Like he's good friends with our friend Jeffrey Strauss is a very, very, very dear friend of ours. He owns an incredible restaurant called Pamplemousse across from the track. I have a Quinella. I have boxed Massacon, the Bordeaux, the Fayard, and the Billicart. I can't.
it.
There's no
You know
way.
what?
But this being like,
We will know tomorrow. Everybody who's listening, anybody who cares, post what you're drinking while watching the Derby. And
That's right.
Mason,
the
where are you
Derby's
at?
on Sunday. The Derby's.
Oh, I thought it was the first
never
Saturday.
mind, you're
Okay.
right.
No, it's Saturday.
But yeah, like this
First
is
and last
for
time,
me,
I'll be right.
This lineup is you asking like Molly on the spot, who is your favorite child? Like you don't have one. They're all your favorite. So these are my favorite people. These are my favorite wines. Like
They are winners.
This was
Everybody, but
a
also
winner
So Happy Mike Smith.
podcast. We just did all
Yes.
Crosby.
This
like
was
all
a winner
winners.
circle. Winner circle
Yes. right here.
podcast. You
This is
also picked the
rum for the
Chardonnay.
roses.
Picked the Chardonnay and I
And
picked
Commandment?
Commandment to win the Derby.
All right, we'll close this out, Mace.
Nick.
All right.
You got a little toast there for you.
Whether you're betting on the track, the draft, or what's in your glass, trust your instincts and enjoy the ride. From our crew to yours, cheers.
Who you share it with.
Well, that's it for this pour. Thanks for spending time with Crosby's crew. If you tried one or all of the wines from today's episode, we want to hear about it. Head to our socials and let us know which one was your favorite and why.
Curious about what we're tasting next? Check the lineup and send us your questions. We'll be answering them in the upcoming episodes. Nothing's too nerdy or too simple. If you're wondering, someone else is probably wondering too.
And hey, before you go, just a reminder that drinking and driving is never okay. Please enjoy wine responsibly. Always have a designated driver lined up before the bottles open and consume in moderation.
Until next time, cheers from the crew.